welcome back everybody to our C++ Text RPG series. And the last time we were working on the shop state. Since the last video, I've found that I missed a few things that we had to add in. So we need the screen width, screen height, all these things. I grabbed them from the item menu state. So if you could just go there, grab those, and then we're just going to want to initialize them to the same values. So go and grab the values, and then here in shop state, just add them in. So here we have the constant panel bars, and we're just going to call this 90. Now, we can't use the menu bars that we used here because we're going to have 3 different menu sides. So these ones we're going to have to do a little bit differently. Now, we could put all 3 here, but it's not necessary. We're also going to need in here the M available cell quantity. And then I realized we're not going to need this function here. We're just going to use the same function for that. And we're also going to have a few other functions. Void by equipment. Void cell equipment. Void by items. Void cell items. So we'll create those functions. Okay, let's get rid of this. So let's go into draw shop first. So this is not needed, let's get rid of that. Okay. So this is where we're going to draw the name of the shop and the panel bars and all that stuff. So I already have the names over here, so I don't have to type it all out. It'll just take too long, so I already have that typed out. So we can just put this in here. And then this is where, so we're having our screen width, or center screen width, and then minus 33. Why minus 33? It's because it's 66, and then this one minus 31, this one is 62, and then this one is 50 for wide. So this is to center these, and then we're also going to need to draw in our panel bars. So that's just M console, draw panel horrors. Oops. And panel bar X -1. Actually, I think we can almost copy everything from here. Yeah, let's just copy all this real fast. That's in the item menu state and bring it over. Not shop loader, sorry. Shop state.cpp. Let's put this in here. What are we not going to need? We're not going to need these. I don't believe one of these, this one. Okay, so let's quickly just run this and see what we get, if it even builds. Okay, and that's enter. Oh, we can get rid of that breakpoint. Okay, cool. We're pretty close. So yeah, maybe we did need that one up there. So we need the top bar. Go back over. Put in the top bar and run it. Hit enter. Cool. You see how it says armor shop? Because that's we're in an armor shop right now, and that's what it should be doing. It doesn't do anything else right now. We could probably get rid of this bar as well. We're not going to need that one. So holder, we don't need that. Cool. F5. All right, that looks good. Cool. So that's that one taken care of. Now we can test this one out to see by making other shops. So if we come here and we go to XML files, right now we only have our one armor shop. So if we just go in this and copy this, we could probably just change this. So here, add new. Weapon shop def 1.xml. Let's get rid of that. And we'll just paste in this. And we'll just change everything. And we'll call this our first weapon shop. And we'll call this weapon shop as well. So now we got to make sure that we put the correct names in here because we're reading these names from a lookup file here. So we got to go to our weapons defs, and we need we'll put an iron sword and the broadsword. We'll put both of those in there, and then it'll grab all these properties for us. So we'll put this here. So the first one's going to be the iron sword, and go back to weapons def and get the broadsword. Put that in there as well. Broadsword. Now it's not armor here. I believe we called it just weapon. So we'll come here. And I believe it is shop item. And we'll go to game state and we'll change this. Where are we doing this? We did that in game state right here. And we'll just change this to weapon shop defs 1. And that should run. Let's see what happens. Awesome. So it's running a weapon shop. Beautiful. And we'll just leave it for weapon shop for now. Let's go back into shop state. So in shop state, let's do draw by items. Okay, so in the draw by items, it was going to be, this is where we make our little box that has the OK and the update the quantity and stuff like that. So when we're in here, we just want to go M console, right? Now these are values you may have to change, so I just have it at 80, 25, and we'll just call this quantity. $90.25, and this will be, so 90 is 90 over, and this we're going to have this as std to w string, and that's our M quantity that we made. And we'll just copy these. And these are going to be at 80 and 26. That's going to be total. Now that's for total price. And then 90 and 26. And that is M price times M quantity. And then this is where we want to draw the box. Draw panel horizontal. 75, 23, 25. And we'll call this blue. Whoops, sorry. Draw panel horizontal again. Blue as well. Now let's draw our verticals. Cool. Now, let's do the draw items box. It's basically the same idea, however in a different place. So let's copy all this, see if we can use it all. Okay, so first thing, let's change this to 30, this to 15, change this to item. We'll keep it item for equipment as well. So it doesn't matter if it's equipment or items, it'll always just say item. 15, change this to, actually let's just copy this one down. 30, 15, so make this 50. And that'll be the price. That's all we need for these. because this, we're just drawing the box. And then we'll have to draw the box now. Change these to 26. 16. 40. Change both of these to 40. So they're 40 long. Draw the two verts. This one's going to be 27 as well. This one's 25, and we'll make this one 65. And we're going to have another horizontal panel. And we'll actually have another horizontal panel that encapsulates all this. Cool. So let's get the player's gold, const, auto, and we'll just call this the gold string. To W string, and party, get gold. Cool. And then that's just M console, right. We'll put this at 80, at 15. We'll call this L gold plus gold string. Cool. All right, that should be good for the draw items box. So if you see, we're drawing the top, stuff inside, or the cap. So this is the cap, this is underneath, and then this is the rest of the panel. So now let's do reset selection. So remember, in reset selections, we're going to want to go through and just reset everything, all of our settings back to original values. So MB in item by is equal to false. In item cell, false. Set function is equal to false. Do we have to set that to false? Well, we'll set it to false. By cell item. And then we want to reset us back into shop select. Yeah, this probably doesn't need to be false, but we'll leave it for now if it causes any problem. So let's hide the item selector, hide the equipment selector, and show the shop choice selector. And clear the console buffer. So in our by cell options, basically this is our by cell selector, and it has two options. It has OK or cancel. So OK would be index 0, cancel would be index 1. So if we are at index 1, or the quantity is less than or equal to 0, we're actually going to want to exit this. So let's just go M, B, by cell item, false, M, by cell selector dot hide this cursor. Okay, then we're going to set our quantity back to 0. Our price back to 0. Our available cell quantity back to 0. And clear our console buffer. And then just return from the function. Otherwise, we want to check to see if we're buying or selling. So if M be in buy item, in item buy, sorry. And then else if M be in sell, item sell. Okay, so if we're in the buy, we're going to check to see if it's a equipment. So are we an equipment shop? If so, buy equipment. Else, buy items. So we can copy this as well. Come in here, same idea, and this is just sell. Alright, so after that, all the purchasing will be done in these functions here. Purchasing or selling will be done in these functions right here. All we have to do is reset everything on the way out. So that's what we're going to do. We're just going to copy this and just reset it all. Bang. So if it gets to here, it's resetting everything. So on item by select, is that correct? That looks good. On equipment by select, basically we could probably copy this. Let's just copy this. And see, yep, we can do that. Because the data is the same. So see the data on sell. Sell is going to be basically the same thing, except we want to get sell price. And then this one is going to be the same as well. Get sell price. However, on the sell, we need to do one more thing. We need to get the available sell quantity. And that is equal to the item get count. We need to get how many we're able to sell. Same with this one. Alright, so render sell items. Render sell items is basically the same thing again, so we can just copy this, put this here, and I think 25 would look better. Let's move it over a little bit. Whoops. And here, and because it's sell items, get item name, get sell price. Change this to 25 as well. Copy this. Equipment. Name, sell price 25. All right, that looks good. So like I said before, update sell quantity is basically the same as this. However, we don't care about the gold in this situation because the shop, basically they have infinite items and infinite money. They can buy all your stuff if you have it for sale. What we care about is the total available. So in here, so it's the same thing. We can actually copy this, bring this over. Okay, and instead of gold, we care about M quantity. M quantity is less than total available. Add it up. If our quantity that we have selected is less than the total that we have available, then add it up. Else, check to see if our quantity is less than 0 or is greater than 0, minus minus, and then clamp it at 0 and 99. It's looking pretty good. On shop menu select. So let's do on shop menu select. So in here, we're just going to want to check to see if index is greater than the data size minus 1, or data is empty. We're just going to want to leave. Because if our index is greater than our data size, we may access a value that doesn't exist in our vector. So we don't want to do that. And then if not, we're going to come in here and we're just going to do a switch on the index, case 0. And we're just going to be setting the in item by is equal to true. Sorry, let me explain what this is. So on shop menu select is right here. This is our on shop select, shop menu select. So 0, 1, 2. So we're setting by to true. So we can put that in there as well as a comment. By. One. Cell. Exit, and then this is exit. Default, we're just going to return. And then now we're not going to be in the shop menu anymore, so we need to set that not. So in shop select is now equal to false. All right, and now we're going to hide our cursor and shop choice selector. Not show, we want to hide it. And now we want to see which selector we want to show. So if we're in an equipment, like is it an equipment shop? We want to show the equipment selector. Else, we want to show the item selector. Okay. We're checking to see if our index is beyond our data or our data is empty, and then we're leaving. Going to our index, setting if we're buy, sell, or exit, and then setting our cursors. All right, let's just run this real fast and see what it looks like. Cool. All right, so it looks like things are off a little bit, but that's okay. And it only shows the one. We only loaded the iron sword. And we have 0 gold. Should we have 0 gold right now? So the items box was off. These should be 26. Let's see it again. Beautiful. That looks much better. Now we probably don't need this one here, but we'll leave it there for now. And yep, see our little quantity box comes up. Now the quantity buttons aren't working yet, which they should. These work, but this does not. So our quantity should be going up. Oh, it won't go up because our gold. So yeah, it is working. So let's change where our gold is set, and we'll just do that in the party. So let's go to end party, the party class, party constructor, and gold. We'll just set this to 500. Go in, buy. Awesome, we can only buy one. Oh, so we've got to clear this buffer as well, which is fine. We'll deal with that after. Go to cancel, backspace, go to sell, and we only have a short sword. Okay, so see, this lets us go up no matter what right now. For some reason it doesn't have a cap. I must not have set the total available correctly. Okay, and go back. Cancel. Never stopped in there. Yeah. I was supposed to change those. Sorry. It's fine. I even wrote a note about that, about changing that. And we'll try this again. Cool. And cells, item got get count. It should only be 1. Count 1, yeah. So we get rid of this breakpoint. And it's still letting us keep going. Why? That's why, because So we actually need to be checking if we're selling stuff. So in item buy, call update buy, else if. Cool, that should work now. Let's give it another shot. Sell. So its price is $5. Must be a cheap sword. Cool. So we broke in there. And quantity is going to get up. Total available is 1. We go back in here. Yeah, so we hit up. We can't go up anymore. Hit down. Can't go down. Cool. And if we sell, it's not going to do anything because we haven't done those functions yet. And that's fine. All right, so I think those are the last functions are buy and sell functions. Cool, we'll do those right now. Let's get those done really fast. They're all pretty similar. Okay, so in buy equipment, we'll do that first. Okay, so in buy equipment, first thing we're gonna do is get the item index. So int item index is equal to m equipment selector. Get index. And let's get the item at that index. Get the item count. Just going to put a little check here. And quantity -1 is greater than item dot. I think I did a max count. I did not. So let's go to equipment really quick. So it looks like I forgot that as well. Because we don't want to just keep buying items. You want to have some type of cap. So in here, did I make a max count? I believe I did. Yeah, max count is 50. We can add up to the max count, but I didn't put a get max count. So inline cost and get. Oh, trying to be too quick. Now I don't know if I did that for items. Let's check items real quick while we're here. So item, it has a max count, but I didn't do that. Okay, so we'll do the same thing. We'll just call it get max count. Cool. These could probably be all inline. All right, back into the shop. And if it's greater than max count, we're just going to want to return. If greater than max, return. That we probably don't even need that comment. It's pretty self-explanatory. So now we're going to need to create a new item. And we want to create that item and put it into our inventory. Create new item and add to inventory. If, nope, sorry. So we'll just say auto, new item, item creator. I didn't put that in here? I did not. So we need the item creator. And we're creating equipment for this. So we need the item get type, item get weapon properties. Let's hover over this for a second. So yeah, what do we need? Weapon props, armor props, stat, and then the args. Okay. Item get armor properties. And I think that's all we need for equipment. So let's just see. Go back to equipment. So we need a name, description, buy price. And then the weapon properties, all this stuff, that should already be done in our item creator for us. Remember, if we don't put it in correctly, the item creator will just send us back null pointer. So we have to make sure that we set it in correctly. So we'll just assert that. Okay, so now we're going to want to try to add it to our inventory. First thing we need to do here is go get the inventory, get a reference to the inventory. And actually, before we do that, we need to change the new item, and we want to add to its count the quantity -1. Because we're going to be using our buy equipment function, and that's in our party. So then for const auto it in so now we want to loop through all of our equipment and check to see if we're at our max count. So if new item get name is not equal to it get name, just continue. Then if new item get count plus it get count is greater than it get max count, and we're just going to want to leave. So we could write to the console for that, but we'll just return. Now we should only have one item under with the same name. So if we get here, we can just break instead of having to go through the whole inventory. And then we just buy the new item. If not, and party buy equipment, and that's M quantity times M price. We want to move that new item in. This one we will say at 80 and 34. Failed to buy the equipment. And we'll have this red because it's an error. And just return. Otherwise, we're good. So that's basically the buy equipment function, and we can copy all this and put that into buy items. And we're going to change this to item selector, item selector, that's the problems with copy and paste, guys. So I definitely don't need this. Let's check this out. What does this need? Yeah, it needs an item type. I don't have a get item type. We have a set type. We'll just call this get type. Man, I'm forgetting to put a lot of stuff in. If you guys caught that, good for you. You probably did catch it. Get item type. What else does this need? Item creator. So it needs item type and then all the arguments for the item. I think we only have the potion made. So we're going to have these as name, description, health, and buy price or value. Name, description, for real, value. Really, I didn't put that in there either. Yeah, so the item value is not its price, it's because it could be anything, like what type of value, health, cure mana. All right. Change this to items. All right, now this should work. Let's just see if we can build before we get into sell, because I think I forgot some other things. Okay, we can build successfully. That's good. Let's just try to buy something. So let's go in, buy, iron sword. We can only buy one, buy it. And it took our gold, good. If we go to sell, our iron sword, oh, it didn't show up. So it must have made a new one. No, it did buy it. I just didn't add it because of this. Let's put a default in there, bring that down. If num is less than 1, num equals 1. So while we're here, let's change some other things. Let's add a decrement. have that default to 1. And we want to go if mCount is less than or equal to 0. We're just going to want to return. And then if mCount minus num is less than 0, return. Then we're just going to go mCount minus minus. Cool. And then return true. These will be false. Okay. Let's copy this and put this into item as well. Oh, item already has a decrement. So that was equipment that we put it in. Item. Let's change it. Change it to this. So that'll force us to always add at least 1. And now we'll do our cell items. So let's get the current index. So we'll just do auto item index, item selector, get index. Now we want to get the item at that index. Then let's get the item count. And let's get the sell price. And that'll be the total sell price, and that's equal to item get sell price times and quantity. Probably don't even have to do this because we're already getting the price, but we'll just put that there anyway. Then if item count minus m quantity is greater than 0, so I just call it count, of course. Else. So if our items are less than 0, we're going to want to remove that item. So remove. At the item index. Oh, we didn't put that in here, so let's go up here. Did we have our utilities? Nope. So, oops. Utilities. Yeah, so that's a little helper function that we created. It should work. Did we not create that helper function? Not utilities. TRPG utilities. TRPG utilities. And we're also going to want to remove it from the real party data. And it won't let us do it because that's const. So let's just take this away from being const for now. There's probably a better way to do it, but All right, and that's selling an item, and that should work. Let's copy this and put it into our equipment, and we'll debug it accordingly. I totally thought I was going to go faster for this video. And let's run it. And, oops. Buy the iron sword. We can only buy one. Bought it. Go to sell. And it still doesn't show the iron sword, but that's okay. Oh, chest plate. It's not listing all of them. That's my fault. Right here. We need to add the gold and party. Add gold. And that's just the total sell price. Copy this one. Put it there. And for some reason we're not drawing everything the way that it should. Alright, so the problem was here. It was our set data. We only had our data is equal to data. Well, we weren't resetting the rows because before we were setting the data in the selector constructor. So yeah, this is in selector. So before we were just setting the rows in the constructor right here. So we needed to do the same thing if we're switching the data. We need to make sure we change it. So that's what I did there. It should be good to go. So if we buy, we see we have our two items. We can buy the broadsword. It won't let us buy one for some reason. That's a setting that I have, so we'll fix that. So we'll just buy that, sell. So we're still not seeing some things. So there's still a bunch of errors. Alright guys, sorry about that. So I figured out a bunch of problems that we had here. So right here what that error was, we weren't checking to see if our index was beyond, and we were trying to access beyond the value because it was empty. So we want to put these checks in on all of our selects. So every select, put this check in, see if our index is there. So is our index greater than data size -1? Or is our data empty? Also, in the item, there was a reason why I put that -1 for the quantity, because the count always starts as 1. We only care if it's more than 1. So it took away that plus -1 here, this here, whoops. This, I removed that. And I did the same for equipment. Also down here, for when we were buying, this should actually be greater or equal to this, not just greater. So that was another change. So now if we run it, and let's go into our shop. So we go here, we buy an iron sword, we can buy it. See our gold went down. Won't let us buy anything else. Go to sell, and let's sell our iron sword. Sold all our stuff, go back into buy, same idea. So we still can't buy this, but we can buy the iron sword again. That's it for today. If there's any other issues, please let me know. Don't hesitate to leave a comment below and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Thanks for watching. In the next few videos, we're actually going to be starting a new series. We're going to be starting to get into some graphics programming. This series has been fun. However, I think it's time to start working in. We're going to start going to SDL and OpenGL and try to create a game using that. All right, take it easy. See you next time.